Where's the mic?
The one we need to have.
We don't need to.
Now we're gonna pick it up.
All right, good evening, everyone. How are you? Thank you for attending this evening. We're gonna go ahead and get started. But what we're gonna do something a little different this evening. What we're gonna start out with a moment of silence for our fallen officer. Once we do that, then Chaplain Farmer will say a prayer for us. So we're gonna just a few moments now. Chaplain Farmer, would you like to say the prayer for us?
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity to pray over your servants. God, we pray that you would give them the wisdom, the hearing ear, and the understanding that we need to accomplish everything that needs to be accomplished today. God, we pray for our fallen officer family. We pray for his wife, his daughter, and his son. Lord, you promised that those who are grieving, Lord, that you promised to comfort them, Lord. You said, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. So God, we pray your blessing of comfort on this family, on all the officers and their protection from this day forth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Chaplain Farmer, for that. We're gonna veer off just a little bit. Merlin Martin, I know you have a judge that really needs to get out and attend another meeting. So you want to go ahead and do the introduction? You got yourself on mute. No, we still can't hear you. Do we have to take them off mute or can they do it? See if you can unmute them. Can you go up there and see if you can unmute them? Okay, hold on. Hold on. We still can't hear you. Oh, he's not muted. Okay. Okay, we can't hear you. Okay, can anybody take themselves off mute?
Yes.
Yes. Too. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. He's talking. Mr. Martin, you talking to 11th Precinct or are you on a call? You with us? Okay. Well, we'll work on getting you off of mute because we can't hear you. Okay.
Somebody else will get tired of that, so you can hear you.
Sherry, can you take yourself off of mute? Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Hold on. Yeah, because everybody can't get off of mute. Let me see what's going on.
I muted them all.
Everybody, okay.
Can you hear me, Kim?
She stepped out a moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, somebody heard me. Okay, thank you.
Good evening,
Okay.
everyone.
Merlin, can you take yourself off of mute? Can you take yourself off then?
Did you hear me, Kim?
I can hear you. Yes, sweetie. Yup, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, put yourself back on mute. We're trying to see what's going on, why some people can and some people can't.
Some
Okay,
may need to turn up their volume because the setting is set to allow them to unmute themselves. They may need to check their volumes on their computers, especially if they're using headphones in between. Sometimes they'll connect to a headphone.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
There you go. We got you. Okay. So you want to go ahead and I know the judge had another engagement. So do you want to go ahead and introduce the judge and then we'll let her go now?
Good evening, Kim. How are you? I'm sorry, I had you on mute. The judge was trying to get on, but she's on now.
Okay, good.
Hold on 1 second, please.
Okay.
Judge Holmes, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We're all set.
All
Well, good
right.
evening, everyone. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I have Judge Shannon Holmes on the line tonight.
Good evening. How are you, Judge Holmes?
I am
in court
doing
Here
well.
at 6th District Court. And want you all to receive her right now. Thank you. I'll talk after she's done, but she has a prior engagement. I thank Kim for letting her come in now out of sequence. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate you guys all the time down at 36. So thank you so much, and I'm more than happy to accommodate.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Good evening to everyone. As Mr. Merlin indicated, that I am Shannon Holmes. I serve as the executive presiding judge at 36th District Court over our specialty courts, which includes our Veterans Treatment Court, Mental Health Court, our Drug Treatment Court, Human Trafficking Docket, as well as our Homelessness Court and our Community Court, which targets Southwest Detroit. I am excited and so grateful to be here to share with you all on tonight, because it is important to me for people to know what's going on at 36th District Court and all of the wonderful things that are happening, yes, in court under the leadership of Judge William McConaughey. First, I want to share with you all that I think is so important in these settings for people to know about what's going on in the court, because I also teach a class through Wayne County Community College, and it's a dual enrollment at the high school. And it never fails. Every time I ask the kids or the young people, young adults, I call them pseudo adults, they hear the word court, what's the first thing they think of? And without failure, every time they say fines, costs, mean people, jail. That's what they think about when it comes to the court. And so I want to let you all know on this evening at 36th District Court, we are more than about fines, costs. We don't deal with mean people. We're not having it from the top down. It's not tolerated. And there is help available at 36th District Court. And that help is in the form of our specialty courts. And so how do you get into specialty court? So specialty court is for any type of addiction with respect to our drug treatment court and our veterans treatment court, our human trafficking docket, any type of addiction. It can be alcohol, it can be any type of addiction. And we allow that individual who has committed a crime, who is out in the community, not being a law-abiding citizen, and they are allowed to come into the program. There are some other qualifying things that they must satisfy, but they are allowed to come into the program. And what happens in specialty court is we don't just look at the crime that the person committed. We look at the whole person. And so we look at some of the factors that may be contributing factors as to why this person is out in the community wreaking havoc in their neighborhoods, in their communities, on their jobs, at the schools, just at the bus stops or what have you, downtown, Greektown. That's where we get a lot of our cases from. And so we look at what may be some of the underlying issues. Those issues could be drug addiction. Those issues could be that they are in the sex industry against their will because they are addicted to drugs. Those issues could be that they are veterans and they're not connected to veteran resources because they are accustomed to so much red tape at the Veterans Administration, which we cut through all of the red tape because we have a veterans justice outreach person that is assigned to us to walk our veterans through the system. It could be homelessness. It could be that they don't have education, that they are underemployed or they are unemployed. And so maybe they are estranged from their children. We help to reunify families, parents with their children. And so there are a number of things that we look at in determining what services that individual may need. And then what I get to do, which is I consider the easy work, I get to order people to fix their lives. That's what I do. But I don't just give them a sheet of paper and say, you do this, 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 and this. They are surrounded with a group of professionals. We have a probation director that works directly with us, Mr. Wade. We have a coordinator, Mr. Morgan, that also works with us. And then we have case managers. And that individual is assigned a team of people that will work with them and walk them through every single part of the process. We also have providers that we partner with that provide services, whether it's for housing. We work with the Detroit Health and Human Services Department, whether it's parenting classes, whether it's getting people their driver's license. I want everybody to have a driver's license, getting people employed and just helping them meet their day-to-day needs, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, shelter, making sure that they all get physicals and that they are going to the doctor because we look at the whole person. And so that is what's going on at 36th District Court. And oftentimes people don't know that help is available. And so I'm so grateful that Chief Judge McConaughey is is getting the word out that we have some wonderful, wonderful things going on at 36th District Court, that we're not just there to get money. In my program, the specialty court programs, money is last on the list of the things that I'm concerned about. Now, it takes money to run those programs, but what I am really concerned, and I see some of y'all smiling like, yeah, money is the last thing. It is the last thing on the list. But now when they get stimulus checks and you know, income tax returns, I do ask them, can you please take us from the bottom of the list and put us at least number 3? But listen, my concern is to get people the help that they need, because when we are able to help the individual, that means that we have increased the likelihood that the family can be helped, that the community can be helped, and that that person is going to go back out into society and be a law-abiding citizen, as opposed to being a nuisance in the community or being a person that's just a rule breaker or not abiding by the law. And so I am so fortunate to have the opportunity to be able to do that at 36th District Court. And so I hope that at the 11th Precinct that you all will get the word out, that there are some great things going on at 36th District Court. If people need help, we are here to help them. And so I wanted to just make sure that that message gets across. I don't know if there's going to be a question and answer session or if there's any additional information that you may need. I do want to share with you that we have brochures at 36th District Court that describes our 3 major specialty courts. The remainder of our specialty courts did come into fruition through the leadership of Judge McConaughey. And so we want to get that information in your hands so that it can get to the community, so that people can know there is help available. You don't have to dodge court. You don't have to be afraid to go to jail, that we are going to get you the help that you need, so that when you go back and you're with me, the individuals that are in my program, they are with me a minimum of 12 months and a maximum of 24 months. And we work very hard to bridge the gap between law enforcement, the courts, and the community. We have that work with us on our team in specialty courts. Sheriff Raphael Washington, he has staff that's assigned, and sometimes he's there himself. Also, Chief James White, he also works with us, and he has staff that's assigned to us that works with us, Captain Javon Johnson, as well as Officer Inga Bretson. And so we are all at the table bridging the gap so that people can know that there is, in fact, help available. So I hope that that's messaging, that's good news for you, and that you'll get that message out in the community, that 36th District Court, we are still open for business. We are still about upholding the law, right? But we are also there to help individuals that may have underlying needs so that we can help them to not reoffend. And that's all I have for you on tonight, unless you have some questions.
Now, let me ask you this. If someone has issues, how do we reach out to you? Do they have to get arrested? Can we refer someone, or someone is asking for help? How does that work?
All right. So if you have any outstanding matter at 36th District Court, and believe it or not, there are people that have really old cases that they've just not paid, they've not gone away. If you have something outstanding at 36th District Court, then that gets you in the door to be assessed for specialty court. Unfortunately, I don't have resources available for non-offenders. I hate that it is that way, but that's just the way it is. I don't have jurisdiction unless you have a case at 36th District Court. But it can be an old case. It can be a case that's been adjudicated, but you have not complied with the terms and conditions set forth in your sentencing, and you can still make your way to specialty court.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for Judge Holmes? Thank you so much for that information. That is incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do we have any questions?
If I may?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, hi, this is Randy Faust with the Wayne Health Mobile Unit. Judge Holmes, I was wondering how I could go about perhaps getting some of your pamphlets. I know that it would be a very, very good resource for the community health workers that are on our mobile health units. And we are all over the area. I think that would be a really great way to disseminate some of this priceless information.
Absolutely. Mr. Martin, I know that they have your contact number. You can certainly reach out to him. We have those brochures available in our probation department. And so we'd love for you to have them and get them out into the community. Mr. Martin, can you facilitate that? Uh-oh.
Get your information in the chat to the President Kim Jackson, and she can call me directly, and I'll make sure you get them.
Wonderful. Thank you both.
All right, wonderful.
Yep, I can do that, no problem at all.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions for Judge Holmes? Great information. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you for what you do in the community, keeping us all informed. I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. And I do have to leave, Mr. Martin. I have another engagement, so thank you for allowing me.
We have a quick question for you. Is it every day of the week? I'm sorry, is that like for the cases, that's every day of the week, or is it certain days?
No, ma'am, every day of the week, Monday through
Okay.
Friday, we are doing specialty court problem solving. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Have a
have a
good night.
wonderful evening. Okay, thank you, you too.
Well, Mr. Martin, since we have you on, you have any updates you would like to provide us?
Well, I'm not going to hold you too long tonight. Court today. The former Attorney General Eric Holder was at the court today for a press conference. We reached an agreement with the ACLU today about our cash bond system. So many people, and this happened way before this litigation happened, before Chief Judge McConaughey was made judge in January 1st, 2020. This happened in 2018. What we were doing is working along with the ACLU, and we reached an agreement today. It's been signed and it's enforced. Whereas people who don't have funding for the cash bond system won't be incarcerated because of that. Let me speak in English. A lot of people were arrested for minor offenses, be it a traffic violation or something of that sort, and they were given a cash bond. Say it was $400. They didn't have the $400. So they were held over until their trial. This posed a lot of problems for that individual. They weren't able to call their jobs and so on and so forth. Sometimes they lost employment. They used rent money and other monies to pay to get out of jail because of family obligations. And as a result, their homes. We felt that this was unjust, and we're trying to rectify this. We're moving the court in a different direction, and it's going to set a precedent for courts all over this country. If you are beneath a certain, well, let me just say it this way. Judges will individualize each case. If the person is not a threat to society and or a flight risk, and they cannot afford the bond, they will not be charged unreasonable bond. To be over. There are specialized cases, and there's, different examples where you have to be held over. But for minor offenses, this will certainly make sure that people aren't held over who can't afford it. A lot of people who were held over, and not just in 36th District Court, but across the land, were held over when their case finally appeared in front of a judge, they were found not guilty. So a lot of these people were held in prison or in the jail system for no reason at all, basically. So what this agreement has done will level the playing field for those who don't have the means to pay a cash bond. It's a historic event today, and I think courts across the country will follow this precedent, and I think a change is on the horizon. So I just wanted to give that information today because it was a really great day. You'll hear more about it in the days to come.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yep, absolutely.
Really high.
Hello.
For those
Hello, Commissioner.
Yes, hello. I look, let me just say this. This is not only historic, but this is something that was long overdue, as he had just said. We please let Chief Judge McConaughey and in regards to his leadership, he is always trying to, since he's gotten there, try to turn the court from being a place that creates burden on the citizens of Detroit it's just remarkable. I remember when we sent him a letter as a community group asking him to address some of the issues in the court and how the court was operating. He immediately responded to those issues. And so this is not only historic, but this is absolutely demonstration of the leadership and a commitment, not only by the chief judge, but the judges over at 36th District Court. They absolutely show empathy and are really connected to community service. So I had to say that, and I want to just have you send my regards to the chief judge. Thank you,
Mr. Kinlock. I appreciate the kind words, and I will let him know this evening.
That is amazing. I've heard horror stories about that, people losing jobs for, little minor things. And that's kind of heartbreaking because, people have families that they need to take care of. And then I lost a job because I couldn't pay $400. I mean, really?
That's right.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that, all of you guys. Thank you, whoever worked on it, worked hard. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here and allowing us to come out of sequence and let us speak this evening. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. We're gonna go out of order here a little bit. I see Dan, you're on from Crime Stoppers. How are you? Take yourself off mute. There you go.
Fine, thank you. Thanks for having me representing Crime Stoppers of Michigan. I appreciate it.
So the floor is all yours, sir. Give us some good news and tell us what we can do to help you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and good evening to everyone. The judge just segued a little bit as to what I'm going to talk about tonight, which is help and hope and what have you. So I'm sure many of you are somewhat aware of Crime Stoppers of Michigan. So I'll just give you a thumbnail version of what it is and how we can help the community. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Our service area is the entire Southeast Michigan area, from the Ohio-Michigan border all the way out west to Washtenaw and east to St. Clair. Basically, we cover, the state has about 10 million people in it. We cover an area that houses about 5.4 million people. Our office is located in Southfield. We try to be somewhat centralized as to where we are, what we do. I can tell you that we average about 6,000 anonymous calls a year with the 1-800-SPEAK-UP program that many of you, I hope, have heard about. Over the last 6 years, we've taken in 42,000 anonymous tips throughout Southeast Michigan. So Crime Stoppers basically here in Southeast Michigan, we have two very specific programs. Program A would be the 1-800-SPEAK-UP number, which is a phone number that people can call, obviously, remaining absolutely anonymous, to report about a case that either, or a crime, I should say, that either may occur or a crime that has already occurred. We take that information and we pass it on to the appropriate law enforcement agency at the federal, state, county, and local level. We work a lot with the Detroit Police Department, have been wonderfully cooperative with us, and we work with them every single day. And the information, if it provides an arrest or causes an arrest to be made, people can receive a cash award. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. People often ask the question, of course, how do you possibly pay rewards when the people you claim are anonymous? So two things you got to know. First off, 42,000 calls obtained or received in the last 6 years. Not one of those callers was ever identified. Those calls are answered in Dallas, Texas. They are not answered here. Once the information is obtained, It's sent up to us. We have somebody pass it on to the appropriate law enforcement agency. If the person who calls us using 1-800-SPEAK-UP gives a name, we will not take the call. As a matter of fact, I often use the example that if somebody were to call 1-800-SPEAK-UP right now and say, "Hi, I'd like to report a situation. My neighbor appears to be eating all of his guests. By the way, his name is Jeffrey Dahmer's." Believe it or not, we wouldn't take the call. And we wouldn't take the call because as soon as the caller said, "my neighbor," we then can identify who the caller is. And we just can't do that. So everybody remains anonymous. The question then becomes, how do you pay a reward if that tip ends up causing an arrest? We do so because when people call the 1-800 number, they're given a 5-digit number and told that they can call us locally in Southfield every week to follow their tip to determine if indeed the tip did cause an arrest. And when the law enforcement officer who's involved with the case provides us information, they either tell us the information was useless, redundant, or it did cause an arrest. If the caller, we call them tipsters, call us back and we tell them that their tip has caused an arrest and that our reward court, which is an independent group of people outside of my staff and have nothing to do with me as well, I'm not on that court, they determine based on the tip and they determine based on what the officer in charge of the case provided, they determine that a reward will be paid, and it's paid by metric. If the tipster calls back and we say, "yes, your tip caused an arrest," without telling us where you live or who you are, can you get to one of 3 Comerica banks? Some are in the city, some are in the suburbs. They tell us yes. Which one can you get to? They tell us. We then tell them, okay, next week. We always say next week so we can set it up with the bank. Go into the bank somewhere between 9 a.m. on Monday and 12 noon on Saturday. Ask to speak only to the bank manager. Tell the bank manager that you're tipster 12345, and the bank manager will provide you an envelope in cash and you walk out the front door. One of the things that people have asked us often is they seem to see sometimes that the rewards don't make sense in terms of the amount. So let me explain that very quickly if I can. We pay our highest reward amount is $2,500 for the heinous crime of murder. However, people can bring in additional money. We call them joint rewards. Family members, friends, acquaintances, people that work with the family, whatever. They can bring in more money to add to that $2,500 so that the reward could be $3,000, $4,000. We have some rewards that have been as high as $100,000. We don't delineate who the person is in terms of the victim. We don't know who the callers are. We don't know their age. We don't know their color. We don't know where they live. And we don't want to know because God forbid if one person ever got identified as a caller to Crime Stoppers, this whole program would fall apart. The program is built for one reason and one reason only. And this is what I referred to when I said the judge segued the information for me. It is to help people that for whatever reason, if they don't want to call the local police department, and we certainly encourage you to do that, but if you're concerned about your safety, if you're concerned about your kids, your grandkids, your property, whatever that case happens to be, you can call us anonymously. We will pass it on to the law enforcement community, and we service or support over 200 law enforcement agencies throughout Southeast Michigan. So we certainly do that. Now, one of the things that I must tell you is we take in an average of 6,000 anonymous calls a year. It used to be, because people automatically think that, well, you know, the calls are coming from the city, or they coming from, what areas are they coming from? It used to be that it was a 50-50 split between the suburbs and the city of Detroit. My concern is because of COVID, and I mentioned this today to some of the police officers down at Central District. My concern is because we haven't been out as an organization to attend neighborhood meetings, block club meetings, et cetera. We're just starting to get back out. My concern is that the tips are starting to now go 60% suburbs, 40% Wayne County, and specifically the city of Detroit. We all understand crime is crime. There's crime in Detroit, there's crime in Birmingham, there's crime in Oxford, there's crime in anywhere that we all live. But we are concerned because the city of Detroit is the largest entity that we service. We want to make sure everybody's aware that the 1-800 number is a number that they can call, that they should be confident that they can call, that they know for sure that it's safe to call, and they know for sure that we'll get the information to the right person. There's no court, there's no interview, there's no nothing. You provide the information. We don't know who you are. There's no caller ID. There's nobody involved. And once you provide the information, we can't reach out to you again because we don't know who you are or how to get you. So that's the 1-800 Speak Up side. The other side, very quickly, is we have an organization or a service program called the Center for Crime Prevention. And I would encourage all of you to go onto our website, and I'll put it up here in a minute in the chat section. Inside of our website is a resource center. There are a number of articles, many articles talking about human trafficking, how to stay safe while driving, how to deal with senior scams, etc. So that part of what we deliver is to try to keep people from becoming victims. We also have a YouTube channel, Crime Stoppers of Michigan YouTube channel, where we have a speaker series, where we have a number of people who once a month do a speaking program. We just did one on animal cruelty. We've done one on suicide, etc. So I would encourage all of you to do that as well. But please, if you will, we need to keep the program out there so that people know they have help. And as far as I'm concerned, all of us together, I don't care where we live, if we turn our heads and don't speak up, then we're being complacent and we're being complacent at the risk of not helping people who desperately need our help. I wish I could bring onto these meetings some of the mothers and fathers and grandparents and siblings of people who are lost, missing, murdered. It breaks your heart. So I would say, please, let's keep the word out there. Whatever we can do for you, you know that we'll do. We're out there to help. And again, I thank everybody from the 11th Precinct for allowing me to come on and represent Crime Stoppers of Michigan. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to take them.
Do we have any questions? State Rep, I see your hand is up. Do you have a question for us? Take yourself off mute.
No question. I just have another debate to go to. So I have about 10-15 minutes if I can.
Okay. All right. Give us 1 second. Let me finish up with this one and we'll get you right on in.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Dan at Crime Stoppers? Commissioner Kinlock, I see your hand is up. Do you have a question or you just forgot to take your hand down?
Forgot to take my hand down. Yeah,
okay, just wanted to make sure you're good.
Thank you.
Any questions or concerns? Anybody in the room? Do you have any questions or concerns? Okay.
Then he said he's gonna give a website.
Yeah, he said he was gonna put it in the chat. Can you, even though I know you're gonna put it in the chat, can you also give us your website address as well?
Yes, it's www.1800speakup.org. And I just put it out there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant evening and stay safe.
You do the same, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
State Rep, Tanadar, you can go ahead. The floor is yours now. I know you have to leave as well.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening to everybody. We negotiated and worked on a biggest Michigan state budget without raising any taxes. This budget is about $77 billion. That includes the biggest education budget of $19 billion. I served on the budget committee of education, and I also served on the budget committee for health and environment. And we are bringing you, with collaboration with the governor, the best budget this state has ever seen. More money for mental health, especially building new mental health hospital, creating more mental health bed capacity, and we are putting $250 million into hiring psychological counselors in our schools. There is lots of good stuff in this budget. I won't take all the time to talk about it, but we'll send an email that you will see in our email all the good stuff that was worked out. This budget was signed and voted on at 3 a.m. So we spent 10 a.m. our state session started, and we were there till 4 a.m., but we got it all done. So that's what I wanted to communicate. I also want to let people know August 2nd is the election day, and please vote. Take advantage of the early voting, absentee voting. Our democracy is very fragile, and we need to support our democracy in every possible way. So please, please, please exercise your vote. If more numbers we vote, the more power people have. So this is my sincere request. And I will keep communicating, keep talking. We got a lot of money for the community. We have $10,000 that we will have for the 11th Precinct. We have chosen many organizations like yours, which does such a good community work. I'm so impressed, Madam President, with your organization and all of the community relations with the police and everything that you do to keep us community together, keep our community safe. So I'll keep bringing more money from Detroit, but here is a small check that we'll be having soon for you. And we've done the same thing for many other very good, deserving organizations in our district and in Detroit. So with that, I want to just conclude. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to take. But thank you all for all you do for your community and our community.
I just want to say thank you for all you do for us as well. I know I'll bug you and I'll call the office, but you know, you guys are always there. You're always there to help. You're always there to give great information. So thank you so much for what you do as well.
All right. Thank you. Good evening.
Okay, let's see. Sure, why not? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do our police report.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Glad to have you on board, whether in person or on Zoom. And we're gonna go over our stats for the police report. And for year to date with criminal homicides, there's no up or down. We're even where we were last year at this time. And with our aggravated assaults, we have trended down 18%. With our non-fatal shootings, we've trended down 15%. With our sexual assaults, we've trended down 22% from last year this time. With our robberies, we're 15% down. And with our carjackings, we're 9% down. Anybody have any questions, or do I need to go over here? trying, and we can't do it without the help of the community. That's what they say. If you see something, say something.
I see a hand up, Miss Lockett. Lockett. I always change your name.
No, that's okay, but I was just giving a hand clap. That's what there was.
Okay.
I wasn't raising my hand, just clapping. Great job. Great job.
Thank you. Do I see another hand up? Is that Eldridge? Mr. Eldridge, do you have your hand up?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
I just wanted to, just compliment the 11th Precinct since we're talking about, how things are trending downward. Roughly a week and a half ago, there was an incident that took place. First of all, I'm the president of the East Side Drive Block Club Association and also an active member with We Care Van Dyke 7 Mile. But my next door neighbor, let me start with my Ring doorbell signaled to me that there was some activity. And this was probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I take a look out the window and I recognize there's a gentleman there, cut the flashlight on, knocked on the window, and they walked away. But they were looking at trying to look into my neighbor's home right next door to me. Well, 2 or 3 days later, I suspect that same person circled back and knocked on my neighbor's door. But I had informed her that there may be something taking place, so just be aware. And apparently she called the police and they responded. They were there within 5 minutes and they apprehended this person. So I just want to, compliment the 11th Precinct for a job well done. In fact, they actually came to my door because the person had said they were delivering clothes to my house. No, nobody's delivering clothes in my house at 2 a.m. But anyhow, they apprehended him. And I thought that was something that I just wanted to highlight and say, thank you for a job well done.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Wow, that's awesome. Randy, I see your hand, or was that a clap? I'm sorry, is that a clap?
I was seconding the congratulatory recommendations and.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Do we have any other questions or concerns for Sergeant Spruce or the commander? We have the commander with us today, and I'm so happy. So we have Commander Pritchett in the house, so. Oh. Any questions, any concerns? Anybody in the audience? Good.
I have a
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a concern with our alleys. We are unable to go up and down the alleys. We have an outage, a telephone outage. The trees have grown so thick in the alleys until the trucks cannot drive through the alley.
What community, man?
Well, I live on Main Street, south of 7 Mile.
What's your cross streets?
Justine.
What's your cross streets? Hold on, Mr. What's your cross
7
streets?
Mile and Robinwood. Where we live, we have half of the alley is given to us.
Right.
So we're supposed to.
Okay, nothing bad, it's just, okay.
Okay, someone needs to put their cell phone mute.
Oh, okay.
You were thinking that, okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Green?
The same thing on Justine. We keep our alley good, but in the back, it's all on the land. I mean, they don't do nothing.
Is this growth we're talking about?
Yeah, weeds and, I mean, it's horrible.
Okay. That's Justine between what streets?
Justine down in the back.
Okay, we'll make some calls for you.
That's why we're here this evening.
I thought you were here to see me.
Anyway, that's not.
I thought you was here to see me. Yes, go ahead, Ms. Green, sorry about that.
I thought the park's supposed to be closed at 10 o'clock, the city park. And they be having a ball over there at Cranswood at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to wake you up.
Yeah, the park's supposed to close at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I
There's a
thought.
park detail, and I'll let Commander, Deputy Chief Hayes know the Crayons Park over Stockton and Healy, that they're out there at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
All of that guys in number 11 know that's going to ride through there and have to go home.
Okay. All right, do we have any questions on Zoom? Hold on, I can't, wait a minute, no, I can't see the name, hold on.
Yes.
Oh, Pastor, how are you?
I am doing well, and thanks for the opportunity there too. And first of all, I just want to say thank you all for all the information that you always provide here. So I thank you all for that, and thank you for being available to the church a lot of times when we have events. So I appreciate that. But on DeQuinder, I'm at Lomax Temple AME Zion Church on 1741 DeQuinder. Sometimes we have an issue because we have a pantry that we give food at on Thursdays from about 11 till close to 12:30. But a lot of times DeQuinder sometimes gets to be feeling as though it's a highway. And we have a couple people who are elderly at times trying to cross the street. And I would just like somebody just to drive through there every now and then on that Thursday around that 11 o'clock hour, just to make sure people are just abiding by the law of the land as it relates to the speed limit.
Pastor, what time does your pantry close?
We usually get from there from about 11 a.m. to 12:30. So, but people are parking on each side of the street as they're coming through.
Okay, we'll take care of that for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, do we have any other questions or concerns for either the commander or Sergeant Spruce?
I have a quick question. This is Dr. McTire, president of the Cary Rogie Hilldale Block Club. Hi. So, and I don't even know if this is something that can be answered, but we've got a convenience store on East 7 Mile in Sherwood that's been closed for a number of years. Over the last month, there's been like a lot of work, people coming in, working on the place. We can't seem to get an idea exactly what is going to be opening there. There's concerns, of course, by some of our members that this might be, a marijuana store or shop. So I'm just wondering, is there a way we can find out, when somebody is opening someplace, like, is there some official record someplace where we can find out, like, who's owning it, what are their plans for it?
And usually, excuse me, until they open up, we won't know what type of business. And at that point, we check them for see if they got all the licenses. But while they're still just remodeling, we really don't know what's going to go there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, and
what we'll do is keep our eye out once we find out that when they're open. Now we can go in and see if they got all the proper license and inspections from the city.
Okay. And one last question is, we've got an alley that was supposed to have been cleared. It's been few weeks ago when they were clearing everywhere, but they didn't clear this one. This is also right at Sherwood, right behind a auto repair, rubber repair kind of place. Anyway, we're just wondering, is there somebody in the city who we can follow up with? We did follow up with Scott Benson's office, but haven't had much movement there. So just wondering, is there anybody else we might be able to check? So
you have an address for me?
I don't have the address for the alley, but it is located right off of Sherwood, right before you get to 7 Mile.
Is that north?
So it's right next door to 18890 Sherwood.
We'll look into it for you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any other questions or concerns? Mr. Wire, hello, good evening. Did you take yourself off mute?
Yeah, okay, I'm off mute.
Okay, there you go.
My question is there a law or an ordinance that says that a resident must maintain the property in the alley. And the reason I asked that question is because we had our alleys cleaned last year. And they did a great job. Sent a bulldozer down. They got all the debris and stuff in that alley that had been there for years. They got rid of it. They cut trees, and then they graded the alley with a bulldozer. If you drive down the street where my alley starts and look down that alley, you wouldn't be able to tell that because the weeds are now about 4 feet high. So are people supposed to maintain that area behind their homes?
Mr. Wyatt, the same ordinances that control your yard and your grass and around your property. When the city let the alleys be annexed from your back of your fence to the midline of the alley, the homeowner is responsible for that.
Right.
So when they don't maintain that area, who do I contact?
You contact me.
All right.
So send the addresses, because I know you're ready.
What's that?
I said, send them addresses, I know you're ready.
Okay, I will do that.
We have any other question?
Not me.
Okay. Okay, well, we're gonna move on. Thank you for that information. Thank you for sharing your concerns with us, so we'll know what's going on. Now,
I have a question.
oh, we got two questions. I'm sorry, we're not gonna move on yet.
Regarding the alley, okay, I know that we are supposed to decide responsibility as homeowners to keep those, you know, like you were saying, the area clean, you know, cut the grass and whatnot. But my point being, what about those neighbors who left the weed grow up more than 8 inches above the fence?
We can get it to you.
To the right. Okay. And also, like where out of the corner of camera.
Corner
I
of
can
what?
say camera and
Cameron?
Lance, the alley right there. So they continually dumps. Because the lot of vacant, I purchased a lot right next to my little house.
Do you know who's doing the dumping?
Well, I can't catch it. My son, he saw the people on the corner of cameras out there.
Did he see it?
He saw it.
Okay. Have him give me a call.
Okay, and because I mean, it's just continually, the city are cleaning up, and now it's bags of trash out there, cardboard, boxes, bacon, and it's just ridiculous. Now, we basically keep the alley clean, but then there are neighbors who the weeds are above the fence. And it's just ridiculous.
Okay, you still have my phone number? 596-1118.
Yeah.
Give me a call. Give me those neighbors' addresses where they have the weeds taller than the fence. Send me that information.
And another question, if a person, I know you know the little lady, Miss Salwood, they used to come to the police community council, be that bad. Someone else purchased her home or whatever. And there's a handicap cart that she had put in front of her house.
A sign?
Sign, yes.
Okay.
And if the person is not handicapped, am I correct that that sign should be moved?
No, the sign actually can still stay there, but you can't park there unless you have a handicap placard or license plate. Anybody parking in that spot that doesn't have it, that they can be fined $150. That ticket's $150.
Yeah, I know that's that.
It might be. If it is, it's 200. It started off at 150. It started off at 150.
But I just wanted to inquire about that because I'm gonna let them know.
And they might come out and remove it, but if they don't, you still have to have a handicap placard or a handicap license to park there.
That's what I thought that you did, you know, but you know, you don't really want to say anything to people because you don't know how they're gonna respond.
Well, don't say anything to the people, say it to us.
Well, that's why I asked, you know. That's why.
And we're not gonna say who said it, we're just gonna go out and put a ticket on their car.
That's why.
So you see somebody parked in that handicap spot, you call us.
I mean, it's just like, okay, I asked me to look at, I had someone cut the weed, because it's growing into on my side. And like I asked him, I said, well, what are you gonna do about it? He said, well, I get my grandson and help if not, then we'll just get somebody and we'll just, you know, split the bill. I'm like, we not splitting anything. That's not our weed. Your bushes, they're not mine.
Right.
I shouldn't have to be paying this one for that. You know, so I'm like, no, and on my understanding is the weed is not supposed to grow. I don't know about the front yard, but I know for sure it shouldn't, it's supposed to be what, over 8 inches above.
Yes, ma'am. It shouldn't be more than 8 inches tall. If they get more than that, you can go get a ticket.
I remember some years ago, I got a ticket. That's why I say 8 inches.
Okay.
Somebody else has one.
And then I see, oh, yep, go ahead.
Two-way street on Main Street, they go up and down with speed. We have a lot of children there. I call and they come up and down, both ways.
Main between what?
Same street where the.
Robinwood.
Yeah, Robinwood with the 7-9 Robinwood.
What time of the day are they doing most of it?
Up in the early part of the day, not at night. During the middle of the day. Oh, yeah, early part of the day, they just stuff it there. It's just a regular up and down, north and south.
Is that a one-way street or is it a two-way?
One-way street,
Okay.
traveling south.
We're gonna send some motor units over there and write some tickets.
Well, we need some tickets. Yeah, we
Yes,
need
ma'am.
some tickets on Main Street.
Okay. We can arrange that. Tickets on Main Street.
Okay, we're gonna get to that in a minute. We'll get to that, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Let me say your last name, don't you tell me. Livingston.
That is correct.
Betting 1,000 a day. Got any good news for us? Like, anything you want to share with us?
Just to introduce myself again, Lieutenant Livingston from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Our assigned prosecutors, I think, we're here today, working with folks in the precinct. I think they've been working in cooperation with the prosecutor's office to address some gang issues with folks that are on bond and getting some action. So, you know, we have one of the assigned prosecutors to this precinct is a longtime Wayne County prosecutor. Before he came to our office, has strong relationships that can help push those things. So we're happy to do that. I also want to share that we just had our I think last time I talked about that we had an enhanced enforcement in the 8th and 9th precinct. We're also doing peace sticks in the 8th and 9th precinct. We had a peace picnic in O'Hare Park in the 8th precinct on Saturday. We're having one on Sunday in the 9th precinct at Howland Community Center. I think I heard Wayne Health on here. They're one of our vendors. I just want to encourage folks, if you want to come and check out, and hopefully this is something maybe we'll be able to do in your precinct at some point in time, but we have Clean Slate from the city helping do expungements. We have Secretary of State's office helping set up appointments for people to deal with their driver's licenses. The city of Detroit's bringing their mobile workforce team to help folks get jobs. Several employment training programs like Learn a Trade. We also had bounce houses and the police brought their mounted division. The fire department brought their fire simulator. It was a great event, and we're doing it again on Sunday at Highland Park. And so I invite you guys to come check it out. It's something maybe we might want to do in the future in the 11th.
Yeah, exactly.
It's at Highland Community Center, which is on Crusade. And it starts at 11 o'clock. We were scheduled to go to 2, but we're trying to extend it to 4 because we've gotten some. And so for the vendor that's on, you may be getting an email from me tomorrow to see if you can come for longer. But we got a request from the 8th that we wish this was longer. So we're going to try to extend it for a couple of hours in the 9th on Sunday. Latrell Livingston.
Any questions? All right. Mr. Washington, Keith Williams, what's going on?
Yes, I've been reading from Raphael Washington. Chair, last year, we found, we got the scout program. It's basically what we're doing is that we're going to communities, trying to work with DPD and try to deal with the quality of life issues. And last year, as you know, we did, I'm gonna give you, we had 14 vehicles tagged, 15 verbal warnings, 2 vehicles impounded, 11 we assisted in a murder, 71 traffic violations, 50 citations, 25 verbal, 9 arrests, and that we did that in a 2-week span. So we're gonna be coming back out next month, and so I'm glad to meet the commanders and all that other stuff. You'll be working with me. Raphael is trying to go through these communities, and we're getting calls all the time. So I know you guys got your hands with the policing side. We just trying to do the quality of life side. And so my name is Keith Williams. My number is 313. Okay. I know somebody else want to talk. 313-657-8962. Basically, we deal with narcotics. Okay, speeding. We're going into the businesses now too. So if you got information, if y'all can handle the narcotics, give me a call, and I'll get it worked for our system.
Thank
Do we have any questions?
We had right now we have 2 because they need us in precinct 2 right now. So we're gonna leave 2. We're gonna come to 12, and then we're gonna come to 11. Right.
Okay. Right. Do we have any questions for Keith Washington, either on Zoom or in person?
Keith Williams.
Why do you keep talking about- I'm thinking of the
You know that song? Is that
So do we have any questions for Keith Williams?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you have broke down cars lots in your backyard and shoot them for years?
Well, we cannot touch our cars on somebody else on the property, but if it's a health issue, rats and stuff like that, we can come in. We can come in. I know we can. Yes.
It's called the rat control.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it's rats and stuff, you got my number.
Yes.
I'll get something. I can get it taken care of.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any questions on Zoom? Keith Williams, any questions for Keith Williams with the Sheriff Department? Do we have any more questions? Oh, yep, go ahead.
What about other animals like these deers?
No, seriously, over in 2, they got coyotes running around.
Yeah,
we got them here.
We got here.
Yeah. You know, man, we don't do animal control.
No, coyotes too. I'm serious.
Hey, I'm telling you, I was over in the 2nd precinct. They got rats big as cars running around. Yeah.
I mean, rabbits galore, and these things, they look like beavers. My was outside yesterday with the dog, and she kept barking, and I'm like, "What are you barking for?"
And I got it back in the house and I went out there and moved the containers and here's this thing and I got the stick and I'm here to try to get him to run away. And he was moving. I moved. I ran back in the house.
Right.
What can we, I'm
You
telling
need
you.
to call the city on that one, but animal control, but
You need to use.
They say you can't kill them.
No, what you need to do is use the Improve Detroit app. Put it on the Detroit, put the picture, put it on Detroit Improve app, and then they will follow up. And then they'll also message you like any updates that they have, but use the Detroit Improve app. Use that for anything, rodents, sewers, all kinds of stuff.
I got your back.
I know you do, thank you. So always, and that's the thing I want everybody to remember, is always use the Detroit Improve app. That app gives you a way lot faster result than me picking up the phone calling somebody. So they have somebody monitoring that on a regular. So if you have any issues, especially stuff like that, put it out there and let them respond. Stop signs down, there are rodents in the street, sewer backups, whatever, put it on there and send that off. And it's really easy to do. Take your picture before you do it, so it's already ready. Take your picture and then just follow the prompts. It's real easy to do, and you can attach your picture to it and then get it immediately.
Okay.
So start using that. That is definitely a must-have app on your phone. If you have any app, that is a must-have. Okay. And I use it all the time, so I know it works. Okay, so we got a couple of announcements. We have Navy Week. Oh, there go D-Rob. D-Rob, you want to talk about your specialty? Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about that 1 second, as soon as D-Rob pop his head on. But real quick, we have Bike with Our Community, Bike with a Cop in Our Community. That will be Thursday, July 21st. That is going to be at DeQuinder and Bricksdale Park. And that's at 18551 DeQuinder. And we're gonna have the youth connection there. They're gonna bring bikes, and whatever bikes, we're gonna give them away. So we're gonna do a bike giveaway as well. So that's gonna be from 5:30 until 7. That's gonna be Thursday, July 21st. I won't be there, I will be out of town, but the Bike with the Cop will go on. Any questions on that one? And okay, and Officer Robinson is online, so I'm gonna let him talk about Navy Week. Oh.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody has had a amazing summer thus far. And so we're gonna add to it with some fun events. So Navy Week started today. We got a lot of people in from the Navy, from the USS Detroit. That was christened a few years back. That was parked down outside of the Renton, as well the USS Michigan. We also have the Admiral, one of the Admiral's staff, the flag officer, he's in town. And so talking about tomorrow. So tomorrow is Law Enforcement Explorers Youth Day. And so that's gonna take place starting at 11 a.m. over at Farwell Field. And so it's a recruiting effort for our Explorers program. You guys been seeing a lot of the kids out with the red shirts on, going to a lot of different events. We're actively recruiting our kids. And so the Navy has partnered with us as well, Councilman Scott Benson's office, so that we could bring this event on. And so for tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we're gonna have music. We'll have a lot of fun. They're gonna have, the Navy has already set up their, what they call the Nimitz. It's a virtual reality system, and it allows for people to get in, like kids 14 and up. You gotta be 14 and up to be able to use it. Permission from the parents as well as adults. And it gives you, it simulates if you were like a Navy SEAL or something like that, I'm told, and you get to operate a boat, like one of the patrol boats, attack boats or something like that. I haven't checked it out. I will check it out tomorrow. As well, we got the Navy band coming in. They're gonna be playing music for us. We got food. We got a lot of other fun. We're gonna have some giveaways for some of the youth as well as some adults. we'll be giving away like some money cards for the kids and gas cards for adults. So we're asking that everybody come out to join us. And then one of the other huge attractions at this event is that we're going to have the Navy Leapfrog team, which is made up of members from their special warfare community. They're going to be jumping out of plane doing aerial acrobatics. And so this is going to be happening right there in you guys' backyard, right at Farwell Field. Not sure if it's ever been done before, but we're looking for everyone to be out. The Navy, they told me, some months back that they didn't have a footprint in the city of Detroit, and they knew how awesome we were. And we of course said we'll help them get a footprint. And yes, we are awesome. And so us being awesome, we're all going to show up and show our love. And so we're looking for everybody to come out as well, to bring people with you. It's not going to cost you anything except for a little bit of time. And this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, I guess, to see something like this happen in your backyard. So tomorrow at 11 a.m., Farwell Field, come on out, bring your lawn chairs. If you have them, bring them out, and we're going to have a blast. Anybody got any questions on that? Just let me know.
D-Rock,
Yes, sir.
do we have a backup plan? We're just looking at the local weather reports. And they
Okay.
said-
So what we're doing is, first off, we're asking everybody to pray that we have a beautiful weather. So that's
Prayer's always good.
That's right.
Hey, Pastor Peterson, you know that was a good one, right?
Amen.
Hey, look, so we asking for that, and so I actually was going to consult with you after that, Sarge. I think this one a little bit above my pay grade, so we don't.
Better send it to the man upstairs.
That's it.
Yep. But I just got faith that as hard as we work to put this thing on, because I mean, getting all these assets in place. I mean, because I've been working with the military to try and do a lot of different things, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of convincing, a lot of paperwork, and a lot of knowing the right person to be able to bring different things in. And so I'm bringing not just one, not just two, but several Navy assets all at one time for an event that that's being put on in our community. This is not like some big corporate event that's like the Grand Prix or something like that where everybody's a part of it. This right here is an event that to you guys is for you guys, for your neighborhood, for our kids, for our people. It's not downtown, it's right here in Farwell. So right here on Farwell Field. So we know it's going to be great, and we know you guys are going to be out there. And so they're expecting for us to have a lot of people out there. They'll have like 30 or so sailors from all over the country. Wow. And we just want to show them some Detroit love.
Absolutely.
So, and one question I asked, I was with the Admiral earlier this morning doing some tours. And the question I asked, I said, okay, if you got all these sailors in town, like who's on the ships now?
Right.
So, but let's just show them some love, and let's make sure we're there to take pictures, meet the sailors, tell them a little bit about yourselves. If you have anybody that's veterans, because we will have veterans there, but if you have any veterans in your family, have them come out. They're looking forward to meeting some veterans. We have the Michigan Veterans Foundation, James Urick Post, VFW, some other veteran organizations we expect to be out. So it's about the past, the future, as well as the present. And it's about our kids and us showing our kids that we'll, move mountains for them to be successful. And that's what this is all about, our kids at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Dee, for that. And I know it's gonna be a good time tomorrow. So I'm like you, we're gonna say our prayers to the man above. So we're gonna make this happen. Right. So thank you for that. Appreciate all the time and effort you put into that. Mr. Eldridge, I am so sorry. I see your hand up now, and I did not mean to blow past you. So you want to take yourself off mute?
Okay. Just one question regarding tomorrow's event. You said that was 11 o'clock when it gets underway?
Yes, it's 11 o'clock. And what I could do, I could share this also in the chat. I'll share it in the chat so everybody can have a flyer.
Okay. The only other thing I wanted to speak to involves former Commissioner Shirley Birch. She was unable to attend the meeting today because of a schedule conflict, but she asked if I would just bring to your attention 2 events that she's kind of helping spearhead. One of them takes place this week on Thursday, where the Youth Connection and Cub organization of youth volunteers will be painting fire hydrants in the area of DeQuinder, from the Davis Service Drive to Winchester, and possibly on Van Dyke between 7 Mile and Outer Drive. And then there was a second event that she wanted me to bring to your attention, and that is this the Neighborhood Day, which is August the 6th. It's going to take place at the Dad Butler Park behind the Belmont Shopping Center. And I don't have the time for that, but there's going to be a number of vendors and medical center prizes. There's going to be books for children, buffalo soldiers, and horseback rides. They're going to have their famous pig roast, gifts for kids, and much more. So, and she wanted me to highlight some of the sponsors, and that was the Belmont Center, Imperial, Pepsi, Fago, McDonald's, and many more. So I'm just trying to, bring to your attention some upcoming events that she asked that I bring to your attention.
Okay, thank you so much, because I had the same thing she sent me, so I'm thanking you for taking care of that.
She's covering all the bases.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Would you repeat those, Kim? She had Neighborhood Day is going to be August the 6th. And I'm like Mr. Eldridge, she didn't put a time down here, so I'm not sure when it starts, but I would assume it was probably starting in the morning, but that's on August the 6th. And then she said the kids are, they're gonna paint volunteers for operate, wait a minute, is that the, wait, I got something going on here, let's see. The Quindy Good Neighbor has, okay, gated fences, a block club to pay for the paint, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Eldridge, what's the other one you had on there?
She did make mention of painting some fences, but it was not very clear in terms of what that area was. It was just mostly the fire hydrants.
Okay.
But she did talk about there's some type of activity involving the painting of fences, and that her block club is paying for the paint, but it's not very detailed. So that's the best information I have.
Okay, and then the other one you had was the Youth Connection and Cups, again with volunteers painting the fire hydrants. That's what they're gonna do, they're painting the fire hydrant.
Right.
And the area is DeQuinder, from Davison Service Drive to Winchester, McDonald's, corner 7 Mile to Van Dyke, maybe Outer Drive to Van Dyke.
Right.
Okay. Okay, did that answer your question? Yeah. Good, okay. Before I keep going, Lionel with DPSCD. I got it.
That is correct. Detroit Public Schools Community District. You are doing great.
I'm on a roll today.
You are doing great, Ms. Jackson. We just want to thank you for letting us come to the meeting and give some updates. Our prayers go out to all the officers and their families as they go out and do the work that you do every day. We are partnering with Neighborhood Day as well. So we're doing a back to school expo on Saturday, August 6th. So on Neighborhood Day, we will have all of our schools open doing a back to school expo. So you can go up to any school, receive information on extracurricular activities. You can do enrollment, and you can pick up extra resources on August 6th, Neighborhood Day. We are partnering with the city of Detroit, so all the schools will be open as well. We'll be having a hiring fair if you know anybody that's looking to join a great organization like the DPSCD. It will be July 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Western High School. The registration closes on July 13th. So we'll be hiring teachers, all support staff, janitorial, and security. So if you know anybody's looking for a position, July 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. will be at Western High School. And we're gonna have our Summer on the Block event Thursday, July 14th at Bunch Prep Academy from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. We're gonna be giving away free food, Tiger tickets, free books for children to read over the summer, and we'll be giving out free resources. So it'll be Thursday, July 14th. We'll be at Bunch Preparatory Academy. That's on 2715 Macomb Street. That's by Lafayette and Shane. And also we'll be at Ben Carson High School from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And also we have an initiative right now. I know Mr. Tanadar talked about the state budget. We are still pushing for equitable funding. So we have a campaign that's going on right now, and I'm going to put this information in the chat. It is easy to join the campaign. You just have to text DPSCD votes to 22999, and I'm going to put this in the chat. Once again, it's DPSCD votes, and you will join our campaign list. So when we have different fundraisers and different initiatives, you'll receive a text message when it's going on. And summer school is going on right now. We have a 4-week summer school. I'm working summer school as well. I'm at Detroit Southeastern for the summer. We will have 4-week summer school. And then for the first time in many, many moons, the Detroit Public Schools will start before Labor Day this upcoming school year. So we will be starting on August 29th. So we will start before Labor Day because it was a long school year. So we want to get the kids out earlier for summer break. So we'll be starting August 29th. And I'm going to put my contact information, Mr. Williams, Community Engagement Leader for District 3.
Man, that was a lot of information. Good, good, good. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Go purple and white, 30-30.
Mr. Eldridge, do you still have your hand up or did you have another question?
It was something I neglected to make mention, and it took place earlier today. There was an event that was spearheaded by Councilman Scott Benson, and it took place at the Action Impact Firearms. That was a facility that apparently sold the weapon, that Draco pistol, that ultimately led to the demise of one of our brothers in blue, Officer Lauren Courts. And there were a lot of people in attendance there, and not just people from Detroit. There were representatives there, public representatives, elected representatives from East Point and from Warren, Wayne County. I mean, it was across the board, but it was pretty well attended. And, the thrust of the conversation was all about getting these guns off the streets, so that, we can all be safe. But I just thought I might mention that in case any of you missed that. You may even see some footage on the news at some point in time. But I take my hat off to Scott Benson for spearheading that effort and bringing all these people just to enhance the awareness in terms of what we're dealing with right now. And
that was at 1 o'clock today, wasn't it?
That was at 1 o'clock.
Yep. Okay.
Right. So I thought it was well done, and a lot of passionate messages, out there to just kind of elevate the awareness around this, and that, things need to get done. Can't keep talking about these things. We got to make things happen. It means bringing, the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branches, and the members of the community together to figure this thing out so that we can make our neighborhoods and our society safer than it would be otherwise. But that's it. I won't take up any more time.
No, you're fine. Thank you so much for that, because I had that on my list too. So thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate that.
All right.
Also, make sure you mark on your calendars. August the 2nd will be National Night Out. That will be here at the station. Oh, sorry. Scratch that. It won't be at the station. It's going to be at the Lasky Recreational Center. National Night Out, August the 2nd, and it's going to be from 3 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening. So it's going to be from 3 to 7. And that's August the 2nd. Also, I don't know if you guys caught, but we did receive a grant from State Rep Cherie Tanadar for the 11th Precinct. I am going to start working on getting some things for us to give out to the community. One thing I like to work on is getting Ring doorbells or Nest doorbells. We're gonna work on that. The award that was given to us was $5,000. And we'll be using that for the community and events that we have here at the station. So we worked pretty hard on getting that together, and I'm just glad that it worked out in our favor. So we did get that, and I'm hoping to get the first check this weekend, but I will keep you guys posted as we go on. And if anybody has any ideas, suggestions, I'm always open, but I want to find a way, since we're not all meeting in person, how I'm going to make sure that our community members get these items that they need. They are going to have to provide an address, and the address needs to be in the 11th Precinct area. They're going to have to provide a phone number. I don't need to call you, but I need this information so that I can have it for our records. So if anybody asks me, where did these items go? I can say, this is where these items went. And I have names, I have addresses, and I have phone numbers. I don't care about any of that, but if it comes back to me, I want to be able to have that information available. So if they don't want to share their address, they don't want to share their phone numbers, then don't come this direction. So you either going to provide or not provide, but we are going to get these Ring doorbells out. I know that I've been asked about them several times. I want to make sure that we get these doorbells out to the people that need them and want them. So I just got to think of a way on how we can do this, since so many of us are on Zoom now. So if you have any suggestions, you want to send me an email or whatever, do so. I don't know, maybe we'll try to do like we do, we'll pull out like we do for the baseball tickets maybe. We'll just maybe put whoever registers for the meeting, we'll throw their names in the bag, and then we'll go ahead and pull their names during the meeting. We can do that. Then you can come up here and pick them up, or, you know, we'll think of some different things to do, but that's just a thought. So we have been awarded, and I will start getting some items, and hopefully by August the 2nd, we can either say we gave stuff out, or we can make that our official kickoff meeting on you guys getting the items that you need. So is there any questions, any concern? Okay, any questions on anything we talked about today? All right, anybody in the audience, you good?
Hey, Madam Host.
Yes.
This is Judge Perkins, 36th District Court.
Yes, sir.
I didn't mean, I don't mean to interrupt your meeting. I just wanted to just send a message to the precinct, 11th Precinct. You know, I'm Judge Perkins. I'm your traffic court judge down at 36th District Court. And my mantra is bringing the court to the community and bringing it to the classroom. So I'll tell Mr. Williams that I would love to have some of those DPSD students, CD students, join in and taking a field trip down to our courtroom. We can teach them about the court and the jobs that are there, and some of the decorum and etiquette, and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to let your membership know that I am the traffic court judge. I handle the last names G, L, and O, and any ticket that comes out with last names G, L, or O, traffic or misdemeanor, will come to me. I'm trying to encourage everybody to set a court date when they get a ticket. I'm trying to encourage everybody that knows any friends, family, or relatives that have a warrant out, that are looking to get their driver's license restored. They can Zoom in anytime, and we want to try to get as many people a driver's license as we possibly can. So they can Zoom in. I'm courtroom 434. My Zoom ID is 360-434-0000.
Now, hold on. Now you're going too fast.
Well, they can also go to the 36th District Court and just go to my name, and they can easily join my Zoom room.
Okay, that's Judge Perkins.
Judge, if you wouldn't mind putting your information in the chat.
I certainly will. I was just pulling in the house, and I'll do that right now.
Okay,
but,
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marlon, for waiting on me too. I know it took me a minute. I'm sorry I'm so late, but I do enjoy. I make sure that I try to make every community meeting because we are citywide, and I want to make sure that the community knows that if we want you to come down and settle your matters at the court, and if we can get everybody in there, then we can find a reasonable resolution for you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Hey, Kim, I just had a question for the judge, and maybe Mr. Martin could help set it up. We'd like to bring our explorers down to check out and see, what court is about. Let them have that exposure. That's something we used to do a while ago. We haven't been able to do it now, so we'd love to bring our law enforcement explorers down as well.
We can definitely do that for you. Just have
you got my number, right, sir?
Yes, I
Mr.
do.
Martin?
And
Yep,
I can
we can set
contact
it
you
up.
directly and just let Kim know whatever you need. We'll make it happen.
All right,
And
sounds
Mr. Martin knows I'm trying to get as many people coming in my court on an explorer's tour as I possibly can. That's what I want to do. We try to get our youth and educate them early so they can understand. A lot of times we talk about how the police are interact with the community, but we never teach our young people how to interact with the police because they're doing a very, very difficult job. And a very dangerous job at times too, as we can see from last week. But I would like to try to facilitate and help them learn some of the decorum and things like that, so they can understand, and then they can see the other side of it, where it's many jobs in the court. You don't have to be. You can be a judge, you can be a lawyer, but you don't have to be. There's many good paying jobs down there. I'm sure Mr. Martin already went through that as well, but. We're trying to get those so they can, Officer Robinson. The only thing I hate is that I'll be at work tomorrow during that event tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have it live in some capacity, try and get as much footage as we can, but it will be the talk of the town. So in 10, 20 years, you can always say you were there.
All right. Thank you.
Officer
Thank you,
Robinson,
everyone.
excuse me, I'll reach out to you directly and we'll get this happening.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other questions or concerns? Anything about the meeting today? Something you missed? Something you want us to, reiterate? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Oh, I saw a hand. I did. There.
Ms. Luckett, Sonoria Luckett.
Yep, Sonoria.
Hi, this is of course this is Miss Luckett. Did Shirley? I had to step away. Did anybody speak on behalf of Shirley Birch?
Yes, we did, several of us.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I just want to make sure I had to step away.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so then we will see you guys again on August the 9th. Don't forget National Night Out. And we will be meeting in person also in August. So come on out. Let's see your face before it get cold again. Come on out. So, but we'll see you on August the 9th, again at 6 p.m. You guys have a wonderful and a safe week, month until we meet again. Thank you all. Appreciate you so much for everything. Have a great night.
See y'all tomorrow.
Absolutely.